bang bang. Bang bang bang. Bang bang bang. Bang bang bang. Bang your head. Bang bang.
Spécial Hellfest, Alex, spécial Hellfest en Bang Bang, un épisode encore une fois avec des groupes qu'on aime, des groupes qu'on interviewe pendant ce festival métal, le plus grand festival français de métal. Et aujourd'hui, c'est avec ENTER SHIKARI qu'on commence. Bonjour.
Hello guys.
Hello.
Hey, hey.
Comment est-ce que vous allez? Ça vous fait plaisir d'être au Hellfest? Ça représente quelque chose pour vous?
How are you guys doing today? Are you happy to be here? What does the Hellfest represent to you guys?
What does the
Hellfest represent to you guys? How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, doing really, really well. Woke up here this morning and the first thing we did was go for a walk around the festival site, and it's kind of like no other festival I've ever been to. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, it's just I think that, like, when you think Hellfest, you know, you think this is just not what I had pictured in my mind. It's just extremely pleasant fest.
Je vais poser une question par rapport à vos habitudes aussi. Vous êtes un groupe qu'on adore, on vous suit depuis toujours. Vous avez toujours eu un message fort, des messages forts multiples, très intelligents sur la santé mentale, sur l'écologie. Est-ce que vous avez envie que les gens aient une prise de conscience des choses?
We've been following you guys for quite a while now, and one thing that is really strong with you is the messages you are putting in front for the people, like about mental wellness, about environment, about all this stuff. Is it something important to go through into your music?
Yeah, I think it comes quite naturally to write about issues that you feel passionate about, really, because, you know, it's like the classic school teacher bit of advice to write about what you know, or at least what you're passionate about. And yeah, for us, we grew up, you know, listening to hardcore punk, and it's like, okay, so if we're going to be in a band running around stage like headless chickens, like, it has to be that energy has to be real. So yeah, there's a lot of insane crises in the world that we have at the moment. So it's important for us to use the art form to start discussions. It's probably the most, you know, it's that and like music, art, comedy, they're all great ways to like introduce difficult subjects. It just enables a smoother conversation than, you know, the other forms. Debate, for instance, which is basically, it turns the art of conversation into a competition, which is just quite silly, I think, really, at the end of the day, if you both want to achieve progress.
Du coup, est-ce que l'art, justement, apporte cette émotion dont on a besoin pour prendre conscience des choses?
Do you think that art brings you the emotion you need to be aware of things in general?
Yeah, I suppose it's quite empowering, because like anyone can be an artist. Like humans are creative by design, so therefore it like makes you feel like, oh, okay, I can create something that is about this subject, and it gives you a sense of power, an ability to shape or introduce a conversation, which is really important, because there aren't, you know, other than that, what you're going to try and be a politician, and even then it's hard to make any lasting change when you're a politician, because everyone thinks in 4-year or 5-year cycles, and you have all the various problems that are involved in modern politics. But yeah, so I think art is a great tool to introduce like bigger subjects that wouldn't normally be part of everyday conversation.
Et de traiter de tout ça, ça vous rend pas anxieux, ou peut-être que vous l'étiez déjà à la base?
It doesn't make you anxious to have this responsibility, or maybe you were anxious before already.
I don't know. I think it's just, it feels like an imperative now. Like I can't, you know, I would love to write music about just like some interesting deep sea creatures, or like some birds, or something else that I love or am interested in, but it's hard to do that when there's so many things in the world that need to be fixed very quickly, you know.
Et vous traitez ces sujets rudes, de durs sujets, mais par contre, quand on écoute votre musique, c'est quand même la fête, c'est la joie. Vous transmettez quelque chose d'ultra positif.
but the way you convey these messages is always super positive, always super fun. And when we see you guys on stage, it's fun. It's a good time. We all want to be dancing. Is it a way to convey this message?
Dark topics in a put across in a fun, positive way, I guess, isn't it?
A spoonful of medicine.
It's a spoonful of sugar.
No, sugar, yeah. Just force feed them the medicine. Worry about the sugar later.
Musicalement, il y a quand même ça. C'est-à-dire que quand je vous ai vu au Trianon à Paris, c'était la teuf, quoi. Les gens étaient hyper heureux. Vous donnez du bonheur alors que le sujet est dur.
Yeah, at the Trianon in Paris, it was like just fun and a big party, and you give the people a positive moment with you, but with very important subjects, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think it's what we're trying to do is create a space that reflects the world that we want to create. So we want to create a space that is first and foremost about community, about people supporting each other, about people being creative together.
Yeah, I think like one of the things you often say on stage is that the community you feel at a festival, for example, or in a venue, one of our shows that's the feeling that needs to be taken out into the wider world. So it's that positivity, that feeling of community that when you're outside of these places that you're not feeling anymore.
Well, so I don't know how long you want me to ramble on about philosophy and stuff, but yeah, like I think live music especially, it reminds us, because we're experiencing the same thing together, and with music, it's sort of a dictatorship. Like it's going to make you feel a pretty similar thing to the person next to you. Like music it does that. So therefore it reminds us that we're all really similar. Like, someone plays a piece of music that's incredibly sad and moving, and we're all going to feel it, and we're like, oh yeah, we're actually just exactly the same. Like all these like divisions that we create in the world, they just kind of dwindle and dissipate. And that's, to me, that's more important than anything, than any like detail of lyricism. Like just the live experience, and just that experience of shared vulnerability is like the most important way to remind us of our humanity, I guess.
Et c'est une belle preuve du vivre ensemble.
Yeah, it's a proof of unity, of being able to live together in a
Everybody
world.
together.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's important. Et puis très joli pas de danse aussi. On remarque que tu as fait des cours de danse.
Very nice dancing moves. Have you been taking lessons or?
No, sometimes my legs do things that I don't tell them to do. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
I was in the balcony and I was just like, yeah, nice, cool, just like this. Au final, ce groupe, il a quand même une hypersensibilité et cette musique, elle est là aussi pour ne pas s'effondrer. C'est ce que j'ai cru comprendre dans toutes les réponses qui ont été données. Passer un message. Est-ce que ça a toujours été quelque chose d'important pour vous, quelle que soit l'époque, même avant la musique? Peut-être qu'à l'école, vous étiez délégué des classes.
Maybe this will to just drag people with you and trying to build a better world. Is it something that you had before studying music, or something that developed through the music? Maybe you were class representatives in school. I don't know, and trying to push your colleagues together.
Just want to know.
I don't think so.
You're like in primary school. Rao was very popular. So like you did notice that he always made the best games, and people came flocking to him because he always did the best games. So maybe it was.
Well, it wasn't until we discovered various hardships about our local community that we were like, oh, we need to write about this stuff and we need to care about this stuff. So it was sort of through the music that it evolved and molded our band's outlook, I think. Because I don't remember wanting to save the world when I was a kid. Although there is that line in System Meltdown where I talk about dressing up. It's funny, when you're a kid, you dress up as things that essentially help humanity. I dressed up as I can't remember the order, but it's doctor, fireman, astronaut, all these things that
I hope you remember the order later because we're playing.
Yeah, we are playing. So
He was dressed up as a mermaid, so.
Well, that's still pretty beautiful. I mean, yeah.
Merci. Et justement, on parle un petit peu de cette enfance. À quel moment vous avez rencontré les musiques alternatives? Vous vous souvenez de cette première fois où vous avez entendu une musique
Talking
extrême?
Talking about childhood, do you remember the first time you met heavy music or extreme music or alternative music with your parents, with your friends? How did it happen?
En
in your
cachette?
life? In secret, maybe.
Heavy music. There's all sorts of. I remember being handed a Slipknot
Yeah.
album by Mike Balls. I had like we had like a friendship group, and a couple of people in that friendship group were like really into like Dimmu Borgir and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so I remember like hearing that, I was just like, whoa, what the hell is this? Because we grew up as like Britpop kids, you know, Oasis, Blur, Stereophonics, all that. And then discovering heavy music was like a bit of a slap round the face. It was like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah. But I think it was probably more like our local scene than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think like playing in this band has got me into heavier music more so than like if I'd have never met these guys. So, you know, it pushes you into different worlds. And yeah, you're right. Like, whereas you used to go down to a like local youth club that put on shows, and like, you know, you got introduced to metal, ska, like punk, and there was just so much out there that once you realised like, oh, okay, it's bigger than just what I've been introduced to so far. It's just it's just a really exciting thing to go and explore.
I also remember, I think before the stuff I just talked about, I remember actually I think it was Rob in our band, our drummer Rob, who got a Rage Against the Machine album. I can't remember which one it was, maybe the second one. I remember just listening to that and being like wowed by Zach's delivery and fury and passion. And, you know, I was like 14, so I didn't have a clue about South American politics or whatever it was, whatever intricacy he was like talking about. But I just remember being like, whatever that is, sign me up. Like that, there's like such beautiful rage in that. And I was immediately kind of converted to the alternative world, I think. But yeah.
A huge love story. Bon, en tout cas, merci beaucoup, messieurs. Je voulais juste vous féliciter aussi parce que dans votre public, il y a des gens qui sont vieux, il y a des gens qui sont jeunes. Et encore une fois, une unité. Donc bravo, je voulais vous féliciter pour tout ce que vous faites. Et votre musique, elle est extraordinaire.
Thank you very much, guys. And again, it's completely crazy to see that there are kids at your show, there are parents at your show, maybe grandparents at your show, and we really feel this unity when we see ENTER SHIKARI show. So thank you very much, guys.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. No, thank you so much for having us.
Et à très bientôt. See you, night.
See you next time.